And I will move to gradually to my second part of the lecture, because when we talk about CSR and sustainability, I mentioned in the beginning that the promotion is one aspect and the reality is the second one. And within the marketing approaches, promotion, you can say many things. And until somebody asks, okay, why are you saying that? It's not a problem. But as soon as somebody discovers that you covered something bad, it's a problem. So my question now is whether you know what does the term greenwashing cover? Or maybe have you heard the term?
Yeah, it's like making your product looking like more sustainable, like wrapping in a carton, and so it's making it look like that you are doing something, but you're not actually investing, or you didn't develop your system. You just like do packaging it, or just have like this color scheme of like actually like green and brown and
yes,
make it look like.
And in general, within greenwashing, we are talking about the fact that somebody says, this is sustainable, this is eco-friendly, this is biodegradable, but there is no continuation. It's like first half of the sentence, and what is the second half? So is it 100% recyclable? Is it 100% sustainable, and if yes, in which aspects? If it's eco-friendly, how do you prove that you made it in such way? I will give you examples so that you know how to, because you are young people and you are probably interested in your surroundings and maybe sometimes even think about your consumer decisions and how to identify this greenwashing. But before we go to the greenwashing, because the full title of the chapter I am preparing for the ebook is Greenwashing and Social Washing. So in case of social washing, we are talking about, again, facts that they are presented in a certain way, but the reality is a bit different. And the types of social washing, I will cover them only on this slide, and then I will move to greenwashing because it's more often recurring in the environment. So within social washing, we have many different types. The first one is blue washing, when companies are misusing, maybe you have heard, bless you. Maybe you have heard about the United Nations Global Compact. You see there are 4 basically areas, and there are 10 principles which companies can adapt to within the fields of human rights, labor standards, anti-corruption and environment. Maybe you have heard about rainbow washing, and sometimes rainbow washing is interchanged with pink washing about the LGBTQ+ claims. But in pink washing, I put there this pink ribbon.
Cancer.
Yes. And the example can be, there were actually cases, identified cases that, for example, a cosmetics brand is saying that they are giving some donation to a breast cancer foundation. But in fact they came, I think it was the case of Estee Lauder, if you know the brand. They actually found ingredients in cosmetics which cause cancer. So yes, that is the good thing that they donated. But the reality is that the core business is harming actually the people they are supposed to help. Also, it is connected with the fact that sometimes within the automotive industry, they are also saying, okay, we will give donations to some breast cancer foundation. But it was also proven that the exhaust from the cars, they are causing cancer. So again, the core business is doing the opposite of what they are promoting, how they are helping. And maybe you are familiar with the presentations of purple washing, because it is also quite often. So companies are promoting feminist claims, but I'm not sure if you have heard about this concept of glass ceiling. What is the glass ceiling concept about?
Inability to climb the career ladder.
Yes. So the point of view is that a woman is not that strong, capable, and all these things to move as high as the men. It's also connected with lower salaries in some sectors. I mean, not generalizing, of course. because we are considering ourselves to be in modern times where everyone has equal opportunities. But still, there are some things which you can't really change just that much. So this is about social washing, and now we go back to greenwashing. And also my comment is, so why do you think it's greenwashing? Why not another color?
Because it's aiming for this green, like renewable, this kind of new trend. So it's just like following it and try to make their own profit. Just tagging along and like making themselves green or like look green.
And if I go to this very basic concept, so why actually the green color so what should it represent?
Nature.
Yes, because everybody has, without the differences between cultures, everybody has this concept that a forest and a tree, it gives us the oxygen, it's a healthy environment, so the green is the color which should be. And many famous brands even, they put their products either temporarily or for a long term into green packaging, because it should suggest, okay, so we are environmentally friendly. And greenwashing, if we look for a definition, it should be that their companies are providing misleading information and they are saying something else which they are actually doing. When did it start? I'm not sure if you have heard about the Save the Towel movement. Are you familiar with different variations of these pictures? Where do you find these pictures or texts?
It's when you go to a hotel,
Yes.
especially like big hotels,
Yes.
then they used to change all your towels and like this bathroom sheet
Yes.
on the floor daily.
Yeah.
And they ask you if you are staying for more days, you just have to like put your towel on a hook so they don't change it and they don't wash as much, so they save the water and the planet. And
Yes, exactly. By the way, thank you very much for at least the two of you for very, but feel free also the others for more like open interaction, because I think that you are traveling a lot, so maybe you have seen these things, and I'm trying to give you examples from like real life. Of course.
I have a comment to this.
Yeah.
I always hang the towels, never leave them on the floor, and they are always exchanged, and always they give me a new one.
So this is interesting because, I will continue. So the original idea, Save the Towel movement, it's good because, the card also says, okay, if you don't put your towels on the floor or whatever and they are not washing it every day, then you are saving energy, you are saving the detergents and so on. But it doesn't mean that in all the other aspects, the company is not wasting something. So it's a good thing. But it's more about saving resources for the company, for the hotel itself. And for Pavel's comment, this is about the fact that if you are in a hotel chain where they have their own rules, in some cases they have these rules that it's company policy that we have to change it because you are paying for a certain level of service. So it's more about their decision. So you can try to be sustainable and try to save their resources, but if they have another policy, then they are.
But still they have this label.
And
they have this label and still they change it.
And that is also interesting because it's also about the fact that we are saying something, we are showing you that, you are, we try to be sustainable, but even the reality you are experiencing is completely different. So this started in 1986. There was a guy from the US who went to some islands, I think, near to Fiji, and he has seen this like slogan or motto, and then he started to think about it, and he wrote a critical essay for a newspaper in the US, and then that was the very beginning of how to identify greenwashing examples. There is a company, Terra Choice, and what they did, they identified 7 sins of greenwashing. This sounds very interestingly. So what are these sins? The first one I already explained, so sin of the hidden trade-off. So you can be sustainable or try to be eco-friendly in the case that you are not using or you are not getting the towels washed every day. But maybe, you know, when you go to the shower, you are leaving the water on all the time, you are brushing your teeth, you are leaving the water all the time. During this week when we had lunches, you know, Barbara, the Professor Borusiak, she mentioned all like, you know, but you know, there is plenty of food prepared, we should eat it because, you know, sustainability is about not to throw things away. But this is also an approach. Also, McDonald's, they had a problem with their paper straws because they also tried to promote in 2019 that yes, we switch plastic ones, but then it became clear that actually they were not put into proper recycling bins and they were not recycled. So again, the initiative wasn't properly carried out. Thing of no proof, we already mentioned, because I started my lecture with the fact like, you know, if I say this is sustainable, how do you know that it's sustainable? If there is, yeah?
Sorry, I just had a question with the credibility and certificates.
Yeah.
Because there were some scandals also that they had a certificate, but when they investigated, it was like right. So how can we know which certificate is?
I have a slide on that, and I'm not sure if you are talking about H&M or just in general.
No, it was about the fish industry, but
Mhm.
probably.
Yeah. Thank you for the comment. I will go to that slide, and if I don't answer it there, then you can ask me again. Thank you. Yes, so there is claims, but not only it has to be, or it can be different, like not tested on animals, and something like which sounds very nice and fancy, and you feel like, okay, I'm doing so much for the environment, but the reality is somewhere else. Then we have the scene of vagueness. So if somebody says this is a natural product, it sounds really good.
Yeah, but of course it's water.
Okay. But I'm not sure if you know from the periodic table, the arsenic and mercury, they are also natural things. And they are good for
Something
you.
poisonous, yes, but it's natural.
Yeah, but are they like good for you? No, but they are natural, right? Then the fourth one, sin of worshipping false labels. And basically this is connected with what you mentioned, because sometimes even companies or groups of companies, if there is a huge label, they are creating their own certification. And they are coming up with some really nicely sounding titles.
And like similar stamps, but
Exactly.
they don't have to make the procedure and
In, I would say, in 90% of cases, there is a green color. That's the first part. Usually there is a circle because that also belongs. Yes, it's like a stamp, it's like approved, exactly. And I will mention it at a later stage. So it was the case of within the fast fashion industry, exactly this labeling. I'll come back to that. Sin of irrelevance. This is also something. So I'm not sure if you have heard about this CFC material ingredient. But this is something which is harmful for a person, but it was banned approximately 30 years ago. But still some products, they say, yeah, we are CFC free. Wow. Sixth one, sin of lesser of two evils. Now, there is a very niche example, but it's a very up-to-date.
Organic cigarettes? Does it exist?
I'm going to look at Slovak students because there is a case right now in Slovakia because there is a competition of like Miss Slovakia or something like that. But Rasmus, have you heard about the vitamin of the baby? So the situation is that there was a campaign and also like for all competitions there are some sponsors. And right now, I haven't put there the picture, but right now the main sponsor is a company which is providing, electric cigarettes like vapors, but they say that it's like you are inhaling vitamins, and it's like really good for your health. Can you repeat it? Vitamin vape, yes. So I will just finish and I will ask you. So the idea there is, each candidate or each girl is standing at a poster with this vapor, is that the correct word? Vapor, yeah. And they are, these claims like, yeah, this is how you ensure that you get all the vitamins you need for yourself, and so on and so on. Yeah, your comment?
I think that it's kind of similar case to what the Mars company was doing 50 or 60 years ago, when they were claiming that their chocolate or whatever it's called, it can actually help with health.
Yes.
It's just kind of similar.
Yes. But the reality here is that there is no scientific study up until now which would prove that if you are inhaling vitamins, that they are even processed within your, Yeah, they are not, because it's not the form how you should, take them. Because many of them need food and also these things. So there is a huge, debate or something, because it is, I think, it happened maybe 1 week ago, very recently. So this is a currency because I think the competition will be in some time. So this is something, so you are promoting something, yeah, this is it's nice and good, but again, the basic thing that it's vaping something, it's not good for you. Yeah, also light versions of soft drinks I could talk about a lot. And also xenofibbing, so maybe you have some laptops which have this Energy Star certificate, or maybe it can be TVs and so on and so on. But also there is sometimes the misuse of these certifications. And these are some of the labels which are, I would say 99% proven that they are independent and third-party organizations. You can look up the website ecolabeling.org, and this is an independent initiative where they gathered all the eco labels from all around the world, and you can click on the logo and it explains to you what they are certificating, how they are doing it, who is behind the company, because also that is important to know. I have tried to select those which you might know about. Maybe this second one, GOTS, because sometimes you see it on clothing for some things. And maybe, I mentioned the fair trade, and maybe EcoCert is the most common. Now I would like to show you a very quick video. It's maybe for 1 minute. Have you heard about the Fiji water?
Yes.
Yeah.
What is this Fiji water about? What is the presentation of Fiji water?
They say something like the cleanest water in the world or something.
Pure, clean, the best what you can have. And who is usually promoting this Fiji water? Regular people, celebrities. So let's take a look.
Recent marketing campaign encapsulates the essence of this greenwashing.
Fiji water is a gift from nature to us, to repay our gift of leaving it completely alone. Bottled at the source, untouched by man, it's Earth's finest water.
While aesthetically pleasing and pleasant to watch, there are a number of aspects that work hard to shroud Fiji water's large environmental footprint in a cloud of green. For one, the bright double exposures of nature flickering within the edges of the bottle immediately cue us to Fiji water's connection to nature. Especially when contrasted with the dark cityscape background, the water bottle appears to be a perfect image of a world quote-unquote untouched by man. The visuals are then compounded with the narration of a young girl who anchors the ad with this proclamation.
Bottled at the source, untouched by man.
Clearly, this ad works hard to paint Fiji water as a part of nature, rather than what it really is. Water bottled in plastics that take many years to degrade, shipped via intensive transportation from Fiji to destinations around the world. Both these practices wreak havoc on the environment, polluting the air and the water. And to bring Fiji's negative impact into sharp relief, 47% of people who live in Fiji don't have access to clean, safe drinking water, according to the World Health Organization. This commercial is just a small part of Fiji's larger campaign that attempts to reimagine the bottled water company as the essence of nature. Spreads like this reveal the larger work at play in Fiji's greenwashed marketing tactics.
Yeah, the video is longer, but this is what I wanted to show you. You know, if you have listened to the beginning of the advertisement, you might even get emotional, because you know there is a child speaking about things untouched by men, but you know, like how they are sourcing it if it's untouched by men, how they are ensuring that you know they are getting the water if nothing touching it. So if you listen to what is said, and you are using a bit of your brain, because you know there is a child and it's like cute and there are the visuals and so on.
It's showing innocence actually, you know, because they put a child in the video.
Exactly, because a child is about innocence, it's about purity, it's about you know the very best of humanity basically. But you know this can be there are many examples, and I stopped the video at the fact that you know almost half of the people in Fiji they actually don't have access to clean water. But we are saying that Fiji water is the cleanest, purest one which we can get.
It's for your people, yes.
Exactly. Again, I could talk a lot, but this is an example. Actually, found a Hungarian example, but I haven't found it in other countries. Maybe you can tell me that whether it was really happening. So, you know the company Lidl, and they have these water bottles, Saguaro. And I'm not sure if you have heard about it, but in Slovakia we had a huge windstorm about 14, 15 years ago. And there is the mountain range High Tatras, and it was quite a lot destroyed, like thousands of hectares of forests were like destroyed. And they came with the initiative, like if you buy a bottle, 1.5 liters bottle of this water, they are giving, I think, 1 cent, euro cent, I think, to building the forest anew. So they will be planting trees. And you will say, wow. And I mean, you know, people were believing it. But again, and also the other two examples I found, I understood that it was in 2015, and they also wanted to build or rebuild parts of a forest in Hungary. So I'm not sure if you have heard about this initiative, but yeah. Unfortunately, I haven't found examples in other countries, so I don't know what happened there. And as you can see, Lidl also has a CSR report, and they have highlighted this initiative. So I would ask you, why am I giving it as an example of greenwashing, or why am I trying to get you to hate this campaign? If you think about it a little bit, what can be a problem there?
Are they actually giving it, or like are they actually planting the tree themselves, or they just how to transfer?
Okay, let's say that they have photo documentation and proof that they planted, and we went there this year and we see that the forest is growing. But what can be the problem?
Maybe they just cut it off before to have a mega factory.
So I will try to, because you see it on the slides. You buy 1.5 liter plastic bottle of water, and they are giving 1 cent to build a forest. Couldn't it be from any other type of product? Does it have to be plastic, so you are increasing the plastic pollution? That's the first thing you are looking at. The second is that the reality is, we are not going too deep into like which forests are the most durable and the best, so that if there is a wind, so they don't fall out. So what they did, they bought the cheapest and least durable types of trees, and yes, they were planted, they are growing. But if another windstorm comes, then they can do all the initiatives again, because it will happen, the same will happen. So there is no real thinking behind this campaign that they could have bought like high quality trees and plant them. And actually there was also a comparison that in those parts of the mountain range forest where there was no initiative of people, there are better growing trees, and the natural cycle of things it's better there than this approach by companies who are planting the trees. So the idea is really good, but certain aspects lack common sense, I would say. Coca-Cola is another example. Maybe you have heard about the initiative of plant bottle, and they say that they are trying to recycle and so on. They want to make 100% of their packaging recyclable globally by 2025. But the problem is that for past 4 years, they are considered the biggest plastic polluter in the whole world. So yeah, it's high time that they start to do something in this regard. And now we can come to the topic of fast fashion, because it was mentioned. This is a report, because it's difficult to remember all the percentages. So there was a report of the Changing Markets Foundation. I recommend you, if you are interested in this segment, to Google it, because there are very interesting findings. So they highlighted or monitored brands by fast fashion, luxury fashion, and online retailing. And they looked at the fact, so they came to the conclusion that 39% of the products studied were accompanied by a sustainability claim. The sustainability claim is the fact I mentioned: eco-friendly, environmentally friendly, bio, and so on. From these, 59%, so almost 2/3, violated green claim guidelines. The worst case was H&M, which probably you know the company. So 96% of the claims were problematic in some ways. And let's take a look at this example. Maybe you have heard about this conscious collection. Can somebody tell me what is this collection about? What should be the benefit? Yeah.
They use, for example, recycled polyester and viscose. I think the other thing is in English. But they don't use. They have like 100%, but they mostly up to 70%. But in people's eyes, it's like they are sustainable. But polyester is never sustainable.
Yes. Also, it depends based on the country, because they were introduced at different stages or different years. But again, reporting says that it looks like only 20% of this of the polyester is actually recycled. And data, okay, it's from 2013, but it shows only almost 11% of cotton used by H&M was organically sourced. So they can say it was organically sourced, but if they don't say how many percents, then it's not the complete information. And actually, their sustainable cotton is only 16% of their production. And you can imagine how many countries they are offering their products. So it's a huge number. And if you go even further, again some percentages, maybe you have heard, or maybe somebody even mentioned this in-store recycling means that you bring your own clothing and you get a voucher for the next purchase. So, how many of you maybe actually did it? And you received, I guess a voucher?
Yeah, a percentage,
A
yeah,
percentage?
when I buy something.
Yes. So I will give you some statistics. So the statistics say that in global, not only talking about H&M, in global, only 25% of clothes actually can be recycled, sorted in some way. So it's quarter of clothes. In case of H&M, it's 35% were actually recycled, but recycled for what? For carpet padding, painter's clothes, or insulation. And actually only 0.7% was recycled into proper clothing. Because the fact is that even you are trying to do your best and you are making this clothing, but for many types of materials, they can't be recycled properly. And if you have a mixture of different materials, then it's nearly impossible to divide them into something. And again, they are promoting even higher consumerism. So of course, from the consumer point of view, you are saving for the next purchase and you feel good about yourself. But the company has this fault that they are not thinking about the real improvement. So just to think about things. And this is one of the last examples. I think you were the one who mentioned you are flying quite a lot. Are you also flying by the Ryanair?
I'm flying overseas.
Overseas.
States a lot.
Okay. Because in case of Ryanair, I took this screenshot from a video because they were promoting themselves, as you can see, Europe's lowest fares and lowest emissions airline. And actually there was a UK authority who monitored or actually researched like this claim. And it was, they had to cancel this advertisement because it was not based on truth. Because they were taking, as we mentioned, one aspect, but not talking about all the other facts that they are like contributing to harms. So this UK authority banned the ads and they couldn't continue. Okay, this does. So. Okay, I was thinking about giving you a task, but maybe I will just repeat this one because if you remember something from this last 1 hour, I would just like to ask you to, when you go purchasing, try to look sometimes at what you are purchasing. Maybe you are already doing it, you know. And also, when you are hearing a promotion or an advertisement, try to also listen to the words. Because as we mentioned in the case of Fiji water, you know, there might be some emotions and you might get emotional and you feel like really good about yourself, but the result is a bit different.
You have to be critical.
Yes.
But also, like, when they mentioned the place where it was not, which was not touched by man, isn't it opposite of sustainability? Why would you want to ruin the place that is not touched?
This is the thing I was, because I didn't want to go too deep, but actually it's a good thing because, you know, if you are only looking at the meaning of the word, so, you know, if I don't touch this, like how can I, or for example, if I don't touch this, I can't move it. So shouldn't it be preserved as you are suggesting? Or if I want to use it, I have to touch it, so I can't say that it's untouched by man.
And when it's like full robotic, but then again it's not nature.
Oh, yeah, I understand. Like they are looking only at the fact that like man is, like any man is not touching it, but anything else can touch it. Like all the animals and yeah, like animals can go there and the robots and the machines, but no man has touched it, so there is no problem there. So I would just like to encourage you to have a critical thinking and maybe as a kind of a last, yeah, because it's 12:30. A last thing, so because I haven't mentioned, I was trying to highlight these negative examples, but as the last idea I have to mention that there is a thing called green marketing, and there is a difference between greenwashing and green marketing. And green marketing is about these positive examples where you have supporting evidence that you are sustainable and you are trying to be eco-friendly. So you can't say, because I think on the first lecture on Monday, the professor said that, you know, he like hates marketing because it's all like made up claims, but you can do something properly, and that's about green marketing. But unfortunately, people have a tendency to present themselves in a different way, like they actually are. So, thank you very much for your participation and for the active discussion, and yeah, see you later.